The Independent School Show helps parents find the right school for their children. The aim is to bring the very best schools together into one place, creating the perfect environment for parents to make informed choices. For 2 days, starting tomorrow, the London-based show will be here in Dubai. David Wesley is director of the show. He's with us tonight on Emirates News. David, great to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
So who is the Independent School Show actually aimed at then?
The school, well, I mean, all families, I think, should seriously consider coming along. You know, I think education is the most wonderful gift you can give your children. But with that, there's a responsibility to make sure that all, you know, the options have been considered, which is why I started the school show 10 years ago, and why we're here this weekend. It's
not just, obviously, it's in Dubai, but it's also in other countries, and it's obviously in the UK as well,
That's
which
right.
is interesting.
Yeah.
But why do students need, let's say, to go to England to have an education when there are some really good schools here in Dubai?
I think the first point I'd like to make, it is a tried and tested route. You know, it's proven and it's effective to go to boarding school over there and then to come home to this beautiful city for the holidays. There's obviously the sort of stability aspect for families that have taken that have very mobile careers with a lot of relocation. It can, you know, provide a very stable curriculum and friendships. But I think that the real essence is the, you know, the full learning environment that you get at a boarding school. You know, up from 7 a.m. till 9 p.m. You know, in and out of the classroom. It's a really rich learning experience.
There is so much competition in the independent school sector, particularly in the UK. How can parents possibly choose the right school without, you know, having to visit them all?
Yeah. Well, again, you know, that's the rationale behind the show, is to look beyond league tables and beyond websites and beyond the statistics. And actually, it's the independent sector. It's incredibly varied as children can be. You know, it's quite possible that you get 4 siblings at 4 completely different schools these days, which is a trend I thoroughly support.
So what should parents be asking when they come along to the show tomorrow and the day after?
Yeah. I mean, again, you know, everyone's going to have their own set of criteria and questions. But I think how they deal with the transition across from, you know, being in the system here to the system over there, how each school will deal with that. From experience, it's really the feeling of reassurance and relief about the fantastic options that parents leave with.
So do you think that, you know, where you went to school will help a child in later life to be successful? You know, does that necessarily happen?
Yeah, I mean, I think it has a huge bearing and influence on that. It can't fail to, you know, the very kind of formative years. And as I say, it's this total immersion. So I think it has a very positive impact. You know, for me, if someone says they didn't particularly enjoy school, I just think they weren't at the right one. And there's no kind of school that fits all. So, you know, parents do have to do as much research as possible.
And who will be at the show? I mean, who have you got over here who can give that first-hand information?
So we have 25 schools covering, you know, a large amount of the spectrum. So, you know, it's rural, urban schools, IB, A-level, single-sex, co-ed. So, yeah, it's a really wonderful kind of snapshot of what's out there.
Great. Well, it's on at Mall of the Emirates. So thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thanks. That is David Wesley.